Well, welcome everyone. I will call the regular session. My Mustang had the window down. To order at this time, we're very glad to have everyone. Please turn off your cell phones. Trevor, do you have a...
Turn off your cell phone.
Okay.
Should have made it into a paper airplane.
It is an honor to have you here tonight.
They frown upon that.
If you're able, stand with me and we'll pray. Heavenly Father, we're most grateful to be here tonight. We thank you for the rain, a beautiful day. Just nourish the earth as you nourish our souls and spirits, and we pray for your wisdom and guidance in all that we do. Thank you for these young men that are about to present the flag to us. We thank you for our country, those that defend it, those that serve it. We thank you for our county, the staff members that serve our county in such a great way and with such dedication. Pray all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Post the colors.
Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2.
Color guard dismissed.
And that is Scout Pack 1916. Action on the May 9th, 2017 work session minutes and the May 9th, 2017 board meeting minutes and the May 15th, 2017 special call meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Collette. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. And now under announcements, the meeting date change for the June 13th meeting will be held on Thursday, June 15th, work session at 10 and the board meeting at 2. This is a change due to training. We have no invited guests. We have no bid awards, reports from committees and departments, none public participation on agenda items. We have Miss Lori English, and she's going to speak on 2017-01 SUP. So Lori, you can come ahead and speak at this time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good evening. I did not realize that I was going to get to go first. Is it more appropriate for me to wait until the agenda item, or would you prefer that I go now?
This is when we have you on the agenda, so this is perfectly fine. We will not forget.
Okay. Don't forget.
When we get to the agenda item, we'll be voting.
Okay.
So that's why you're allowed to speak before we get to those items.
Okay, super. So I'm here tonight representing the Charles Cole Trust and Lisa Cole, who are residents of Quail Ridge Road. And you'll have an agenda item before you tonight to approve the addition of a 40,000 square foot mini storage, single story mini warehouse tonight. And I just wanted to give you a homeowner's perspective on that building. We understand that the special use permit is in place, but it appears that the request tonight is to approve the special use permit as well as an additional building on the property, and a quite large building. So, first of all, if you're not familiar with Quail Ridge Road, it's a small one-lane road. It's a residential road. There's very little commercial traffic on the road. There is a dentist office in the front corner of the road, but the dentist office, it looks like a home. Maybe somebody previously lived there. Maybe it's got a nice field that's around it. It's nicely maintained. And it's a nice, quiet, serene community. It's a haven there within Hiram. And the homes in this community, they all have acreage and long driveways. Some have horses and stables. The houses value from the high 100s to high 400s. And the special use permit is proposing to build at the entrance to this residential small neighborhood a single-story 40,000 square foot building. So that's roughly, stated differently, special use permit is requested to build possibly 200 feet long building, possibly more, right along the entrance to this community. It's not a back entrance, it's not the west entrance, this is the only entrance into Quail Ridge. And it is not an industrial area. It is, in my opinion, an industrial building being put into a residential space. In addition to that, currently, there are, I'm going to say massive, major water issues with the property and the drainage and runoff coming from the current parking lot and many warehouses that are currently there. There's a northeast retention pond that dumps a large amount of water routinely onto the Coles driveway. I checked it out today, and with the little bit of rain that we had today, there's garbage all over the driveway. With lots of rain, it's flooded. The homeowners have taken money and tried to build up the area, but the water from this property continues to alter the landscape and topology of the Cole property. And so in addition to that, Quail Ridge Road itself has some major erosion problems, which are, I understand, going to be addressed by the county. There's an imminent road widening project that's going to happen, but that drainage from the south retention pond could be coming out onto Quail Ridge Road and contributing to that erosion. And the erosion is bad enough to where it will only allow one car to pass on the road at a time. So there's been a lot of back and forth between the homeowners and the property owners regarding this over the past 10 years. And there was a lawsuit, and the owner of the property, we feel, has not shown good faith to the homeowners in resolving these issues in an appropriate manner. We feel that the northeast retention pond is still not retaining water, or detention pond. It's not retaining water properly. With the ponds not working correctly to keep the water off the property, and there's additionally a dam on the property, and everything that falls on the, I guess that would be north side of the dam, that water does not go into a detention pond at all. That comes directly onto the property. So we do not feel that the special use permit of this land, or the addition of the warehouse, a 40,000 square foot warehouse, will benefit the citizens and certainly not the community, and ask you to modify or decline that portion of the permit. And any future permit request, if I may ask, that they would be accompanied by a readdressed hydrology report prior to the permit, so that we can address the water issues appropriately on the property. Yes, thank you. Any questions?
Ms. English, today you did, at the zoning board meeting, you spoke and you said that at that time you thought that all the issues were cleared up, but now tonight you're saying they are not cleared up.
Actually, I don't think I said that during the meeting. I wasn't clear on that at the meeting. And actually, when I was asked that question, I referred to the trees that were planted and that they were, that the property was not well maintained. It was not kept and is not well maintained.
But I think you said you didn't think there were any incidents. But, I mean, that's okay. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
I don't
maybe
think
you
I
realize
said that. I don't think I said that.
I had that impression. Yeah, I had that impression too. And that, I mean, that's fine. I'm not, but I just want to make sure that that water issue is cleared up.
It's not. It's clearly still a problem. I mean, I have a short two-minute video where I walked the property today. I have that on my cell phone. I have pictures on my cell phone of the property today, and you're aware of how much rain, we've received over the past couple of days. So there's just a great amount of trash. You can definitely see the water erosion that has happened. You can see the trash in there's two pipes under Lisa Cole's driveway. And then in front of Charles Cole's driveway, you can see where the water has left the limbs and the leaves and the trash there at the driveway, as well as a bit of red Solo cup, a bit of household trash as well. So after being asked that question today, I went back and I checked the property.
That's fair enough. Point of information. Lonnie, can I ask Chris to verify something?
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
in your opinion, is enough being done to ensure that the water issue is not going to be any worse and they're going to correct what's already wrong?
I'm going to go back. As far as I understand, we do have any official complaints regarding the drainage problem out there, and that there was a lawsuit a few years ago, and to my understanding, all that between the property owners have reached a settlement. I can't answer if there's anything that's happened since then, but
In your professional opinion, though, have we done enough to make sure that we don't start that over again?
that is definitely something that if this is approved and if everything comes in there, we do not want to start that over again. We would have to certify the ponds, and you're going to have professional engineers to look at that and certify those ponds, and we have our own in-house engineers that will have to verify that also.
And since you're back up, Chris, the sediment pond, erosion pond is going to be doubled in size. Is that not correct?
That's possible. It would depend on when we receive the civil plans. Of course, during the special use permit, the special use is pretty much you're looking at, is this use appropriate for that area? As far as how it's constructed and the impacts of it, that's all handled in-house with our development standards and such. And so, yes, they would have to go through a full planning process, which includes civil plan reviews and certifications of ponds, and if there's any expansion of the retention ponds or detention areas, that they would have to be certified. We don't want to cause any more problem down there.
If we have your assurance when it goes through that process, you're going to make sure.
I'll stand. I'll be there. I will be there.
Lori's got her hand up again.
Well, you said if the ponds are expanded, then they're going to have to go through certification. So, I mean, you're putting 40,000 square feet of impermeable space on that property. It seems like to me that the ponds would have to be expanded, and I mean, quite frankly, they need to go back through the certification because they're not working now. So, and to say that there's been no complaints, or no formal complaints, I mean, wow, the family's been fighting this for 10 years.
I'm just saying we don't have any current active complaints that up to my knowledge. I know that there's been more than 10 years, 15 years worth of discussion on that area.
And I actually think there might have been some confusion, so I feel like I'm going to explain it, especially because Mr. Rand is in here. So it's not that it's not gonna go through plan review if they don't double the ponds, the site's gonna go through plan review. And in plan review, they look at everything that has to deal with the engineering, the development regulations, the road, all those things happen. The applicant's representative is in the audience, he is a civil engineer, so I would assume he would submit plans that would have all that information on it, because he would know to do that. He's nodding. So it's not that it's not going to go through plan review if they don't increase the pond. It has to go through plan review because they're going to build something.
We prefer they not build something. That's
I understand that. Yeah, I understood that part. I just didn't think you understood that.
No. Okay, I just heard the if, and we've had quite a few promises that have not been kept on the property. So, but I just want to be clear, we do not want a 40,000 square foot building built at the entrance to the community.
Right.
And to have an unshielded, unbuffered, 200 feet or however long it is, building at the entrance to the property. It's not appropriate use of that space in our opinion.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you understood that whether it goes through plan review only has to do with whether they build something. It has nothing to do with the hydrology independent of itself. So that's just one of the things they have to look at. So if it goes through, and I don't know the answer to that because I'm not one of these 5 people, if it goes through, they still have to then go through plan review. And part of plan review is looking at the hydrology.
The question was, he said, if the ponds are extended, then they have to be certified. So if the ponds are not extended.
And I don't know if you want to comment on that, Mr. Rand, but, okay, so the site has to be certified for its hydrology in general.
Okay.
So, and you can nod, not nod.
I can speak if.
About to say.
Consider what?
And is that an option?
The first thing, just outside the SUV, and I don't mean this in any bad way, is if we weren't doing a mini storage building and we were doing a different type of building for which the property is owned and the use was allowed without an SUV, we could put 40,000 square foot of whatever that structure would be. The fact that it's mini storage requires the SUV. When we start looking at the ponds and the hydrology, I don't disagree. We have to go and look at those things to make sure that the downstream impacts are mitigated. And there was a settlement in this case that occurred, and it wasn't just this property owner. It was this property owner and the 2 property owners to the north of this site. Now, I can't say to what extent the settlement was. I have not read the paperwork. I did receive a letter that came out of the consent decree that stated the pond repairs had been made that were ordered by the court. I didn't see the order, so I don't know what those items were, but that was certified by an engineer. So we'll look back at the hydrology as we go through the development of the site. The idea is to minimize those impacts to the northeast pond. I think the south pond is going to probably double in size just from the standpoint of what was to be constructed did not get constructed when the previous plans were approved. So that's the only assurance I can give you. I know staff is going to look over these plans, and just because of the previous issues that have come up on this site in the last 15, 17 years, they're going to look over them, and I've got faith in the staff that they'll hold us to the letter on what we're supposed to do and what we can't do. So that's the best I can address it.
Well, thank you everyone for their comments. Okay, under consent agenda items, there are none. Under old business, action to approve job description for the county administrator or equivalent and approve human resources to begin the hiring process. February 14, 2017 was tabled originally from the Board of Commissioners meeting March 14th. Authorization was given to Human Resources Director Brian Acker to revise the job description and bring it back before the board. On April 11, 2017, the board adopted the job description for county operations manager and approval from Human Resources to begin the hiring process. And then we were able to discuss this in closed session, so we have additional history now. Is there a motion to approve the job description for county administrator and to allow Human Resources to begin the hiring process?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Collette and a second by Commissioner Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Well, doesn't matter.
Passed without discussion, 5-0.
I'll go ahead and vote. Aye. Waiting for discussion.
Seriously?
I had not voted.
Okay, we'll leave it.
Process.
Sorry,
That was that 5-0?
I tried to speak up.
Under new business, action for the Board of Commissioners to approve amendment number 1 for design services for the distribution system improvements, finished water pipeline and booster pump station project in the amount of $77,000. Do I hear a motion? Motion approved by Commissioner Crowe.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Collette. Now, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Number 2, action to adopt Resolution 1715, confirming executive session for the purposes of real estate, personnel, and litigation. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Pownell, and second by Commissioner Collette. And any discussion on the executive session? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 3, action to accept bid by Anderson for the surplus property located at the intersection of Bill Creek Parkway and Southern Railway in the amount of $171,501 and to take steps to proceed to the closing. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Collette.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pownell. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Number 4, action to add the appointment of Kimberly White as the Senior Administrative Assistant to the Chairman. Do I hear a motion?
To approve, sorry.
Action to approve instead of add. Ms. Kimberly White as the Senior Administrative Assistant to the Chairman, and I will make the motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number 5, action to authorize Smith Connerly, LLP, to transmit counter proposal to the Paulding County Airport Authority, a letter dated May 17th. I guess this is in response to a letter dated May 17th, 2017, as discussed in executive session. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. From the Planning Commission meeting, 2007-01 SUP, application by Stein Investment Company, LLC, Jeffrey L. Stein, for a special use permit on approximately 5.961 acres, currently zoned B2, Highway Business District, to place additional self-storage, mini warehouses, buildings, and continued use of other portions of the site for outdoor storage and parking. Property is located in land lots 470 and 471, District 2, Section 3, on the northeast corner of Hiram-Ackworth Highway, aka State Route 92, and Quail Ridge Road. That's 814 Hiram Ackworth Highway. It is located in Post 1. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve with the 7 stipulations from planning and zoning.
I have a motion to approve with 7 stipulations. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette.
I've got discussion.
Okay, please.
Chris, this property's changed hands a few times over the 15, 17, 18, or 20 years of it being this type of property, am I right?
It was originally zoned in 1990, I believe it was 93. It was in 1992, and it was Zone B2,
Okay.
and it was zoned for mini-storage warehouse at that time.
But it changed hands a couple times.
It's changed hands a couple times. As far as I know, in the past 10 years, I think there's been 2 additional owners, including the current owner.
Right. Okay. Good to see you, Chuck. Okay. I'm just going to let you know that my vote will be against this. And so I want to explain why. There's always 3 sides to every story. My side, your side, and somewhere in the middle. This, there has been some lawsuits and some different things on this property, and there has been water issues, and I know the current applicant that's actually looking to do this, that's not their issue. You may be inheriting the issue, but it's not your issue. So I'm going to, a lot of times things get done and then they don't get done. So I'm going to make my piece right here. There's water issues down that driveway. There's water issues back in there. I hope that what's done is right if it passes the vote. It won't pass with mine. Mine will be no. I'm about, whenever something changes, I'm about the property owners around it, and I say that all the time, and I know you're tired of hearing it. But I've been the victim of somebody that did something beside me on their property that had the right to, and then it affected me. It's not fun, it's expensive, it's very frustrating, and a lot of times people don't do what they're supposed to do. And I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I do know that I guess you've got 22,500 square feet of rooftop roughly out there now, and you're going to add 40,000 square feet of rooftop. And that's a bunch. I have been out there and seen the issues myself, and I've talked to the homeowners back in there through the years, way before 6.5 years ago when I started sitting up here. So if this passes, I hope that it looks like maybe a new property owner or a new investor or a new somebody may be getting in there. I hope they'll do right and be the neighbor they should be and take care of the responsibility of it. And I know we talk about going through plan review, and we talk about this and we talk about that, but then we leave things out and it don't get done, and somebody doesn't sign this and somebody doesn't sign that, and some things fall through the cracks. And I'm not blaming anybody, I've just seen that happen. So I'll finish it up. Dana Cole was a personal friend of mine and cut my hair. And I spent a lot of time talking to Dana through the years on things, and I know there's 3 sides to every story. But I also made a commitment to Dana before he passed away with cancer. And so whoever that new owner is, I hope that they'll take care of what needs to be taken care of if it passes. I hope that'll happen. Because it concerns me when property owners are affected and they have to spend their own money that they have or they don't have for things to get rectified, and they get fixed or they don't get fixed. And I guess I'll just end it with that.
Thank you, Commissioner Pownell. We have a motion and a second. We've had discussion. Any other comments or discussion?
You know, Mr. Chairman, I've got a comment. There's been a problem out there, and it seems like there was a lawsuit and there was a settlement. That means they probably can't come back. The problem still exists, because I don't think you can sue for the same thing twice. The best thing that might happen is for us to pass this, let it go through, and hold the new owner's feet to the fire and make sure it's correct. That's all I want to say.
Okay, it's time to vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Passes 4-1. 2017-07-Z, application by 786 Holdings LLC to rezone approximately 2.07 acres from R2 Suburban Residential District to B1 General Business District for commercial, restaurant, or tool rental store. The property is located in land lot 535, District 2, Section 3, on the northeast corner of Old Mill Road and Jimmy Lee Smith Parkway, aka US 278, 48 Old Mill Road in Post 1, with 13 stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve with the 13 stipulations from planning and zoning.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. Is there any discussion?
Is that property owned, is the property next door to it adjoined, Chris, with the same owner, or is that, I know we talked this afternoon, and that property, they're going to have the entrance off of the Old Mill Road.
The entrance would come off Old Mill Road. The adjoining property to the east, I believe a prior owner of the adjoining property to the east, or former lease, somebody had a lease on that property with Walkers. Had purchased this property. I don't know the circumstance. I think he may have sold it, and a new owner has purchased the property at this time.
All right, sounds good. I had that question asked earlier today after the meeting, so thank you.
Any other comments or questions? It's time to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. That's the conclusion of our regular business. We do want to have one little ceremonial song here. So you got bass, tenor, and the lady on Tabitha's right is 29 today. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rebecca. Happy birthday to you. No executive session, no participation requesting for non-agenda items. I would entertain a motion to adjourn after a long day.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Okay.
After a long day.
4 seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.